Hi there. I care and you matter. I'm Shannon and welcome to my channel and welcome to another Writer Wednesday video. I am going to be jumping back on the wagon of doing these kinds of videos more often. Why? Because it's going to help me be consistent and have accountability to myself. I feel like there's no better way to chase after your goal or your dream than to have some kind of accountability set in place. So, tag, you're it. So, on Writer Wednesday videos, I'm going to either be sharing one about my process, two about my tools, three about how it's going, or if it's not going, how I'm going to kick myself in the butt and get things going again. But today, I want to give you a walkthrough of this is going to be a very different kind of video of a new online tool called Ellipsis that I recently found and actually chose to invest in by purchasing outright so I can own it forever and have access to all the bells and whistles as they unroll. But I also wanted to invest in this company, in this app, because it was created for writers by writers, and they have a staunchly anti AI opinion and stance. And so I really wanted to support that because it's important to me. I'm going to talk about other reasons too in the video here shortly. But I wanted to let you know up front that the biggest thing I liked about it is I've tried other writing online tools and software and apps, and so many of them felt like just a fire hose of information. They could very well be the bee's knees and the best thing since sliced bread. But I needed something that I could just get in, hit the ground running, and get going. I didn't want it to be a hindrance at the beginning. I don't mind a little bit of, getting up to speed on things, but it's hard enough to write a book. I didn't need another project. Instead, I needed something that was going to help me be more productive and it was going to be an environment that I enjoyed writing in. And what Ellipsis does for me is all of that and also allows me the ability to feel like when I write, even at my day job desk in my office where I am now, it feels different because it is so immersive and can be personalized. So, without further ado, I'm going to jump into the video where I'm actually sharing my screen and talking through the different aspects of Ellipsis that I have come to love and enjoy. And I hope that you will decide to check out soon too. Let's get into it. Welcome to my computer screen. I wanted to take a few minutes today and writer to writer share with you one of the newest tools that I have found that I have absolutely fallen in love with and has changed the writing game for me. It is called Ellipsis, Ellipsus. And what I love about this is it's absolutely free. You can create an account, use a bunch of the features for free, and I love the fact that I can use it at my work computer in my little closet office area. I can go to my studio computer, use it there. I can even use Ellipsis to pull up all of my work and ideas on my phone from anywhere that has an internet connection. You can work offline, it will store your information. So that's an option too. But I chose to go ahead and invest, kind of get in on the ground floor for $99. I now have I own it lifetime and will get all of their current and future different assets and different key things that the Ellipsis is constantly growing. It is created by writers for writers, and they have a staunchly anti-AI opinion. And so I really, really wanted to support that. So I'm going to jump in and show you what it looks like in the inside when you're actually working. You're going to see some of my stuff here. So this is just the main working area, and you can easily add new blank documents. You can import documents. You can create folders. I like to organize by folders. Something else that I think is really incredible is all of the templates that they have for you to choose from. In other words, you don't have to start from scratch. You can choose a template. Also here, they still have NaNoWriMo Project Survival template. They initially were supporters of NaNoWriMo. However, when NaNoWriMo, the whole AI business blew up, they were quick to pull their support. And so I really applaud them on that. We have to take a stand, I believe, when it comes to AI. Rage against the machines. as far as I'm concerned. But I love the fact that they have all these templates right here for you to start somewhere if you are struggling. But let me jump into, I don't want to share all of the content for my current book. So I'm going to go ahead and start a new blank document just because, let's go ahead and start chapter 4. And you might be wondering, why do I name my files like this? Because I always want my last or my most recent chapter to show up at the top. So that's why I do it that way. But when you create a document, this is what the screen initially looks like. And to be honest, this is my theme. You can actually choose different themes. You can roll over them and get a taste of what they look like. And if you choose to invest in the pro version, and there are lots of different payment options and plans, I just decided to just do the cheapest, which was a lot up front, $99, but to me, it's an investment in my future goals. And I have learned the hard way that I need to invest in myself, not just to get me somewhere, right? Move the needle, get me from point A to point B, but it actually makes me feel good to invest in myself. And I don't think I was doing that adequately enough previously. But if you invest in the plus version, you own it, but you also get access to all these different themes. And so I love the fact that I can choose one theme and then it will look totally immersive and the same no matter whatever computer I'm using this from my phone, they all look the same. But the two biggest features that I really wanted to share with you today that have been game changers for me are two things: the timer function. If you want to find a way to kind of shut the world out and set a goal for yourself to write for, 25 minutes or an hour, or you're one of those people that becomes so absorbed in your work that you forget to, oh, wait, maybe stand up, walk around a bit, you can set a timer and it will keep track for you. And you don't have to have a separate timer. Sometimes I use this when I'm not working at one of my desks. So that is handy because I do like to not just time myself just for timing's sake, but to challenge myself to, because sometimes, frankly, I don't feel like sitting in the chair and putting words on the page. Sometimes I don't feel like that. I often get into it. I often learn to be motivated, and I'm like, wait, I like doing this. What is wrong with me? Why did I put this off? But if I can challenge myself and kind of gamify it with a timer such as this, I find that incredibly helpful. But my absolute favorite, hands down feature is the focus feature, or focus mode. And that's just this little coffee cup, and you can click it. And then all you have on the screen is a blank page. There is nothing to distract me. There aren't pings and whistles, trying to get my attention. It is just me and my words that I'm writing. And then to click, you just exit, and it comes right back. The other thing I love about Ellipsis, one, is they have spell check built in right over here, and you can turn that on, and it will check, obviously spell check. But there is no AI built in for either spell check. It doesn't make suggestions on how to reword your sentences. It doesn't have AI. And that's something that I really, really wanted because I do not appreciate, as a writer, as a creative, as somebody who is a staunch supporter of AI, authentic intelligence, human intelligence, I don't want to support the use of AI. So Ellipsis gave me the opportunity to avoid doing just that. And the other thing they feature, let me see if I can go to their webpage and share this with you as well. I'm concerned in the future about proving the fact that my work is my work and not the work of AI. They have a feature called Emboss, and I'm going to see if I can find that. Excuse me. Essentially what that is they use, and I'm not real technical, but they use some other format in order to track your keystrokes and the time you use to actually write. And that way, in the future, if you ever have to prove that your writing is your own and not created like through generative AI, you can create a link that you can share to prove the hours, the time you spent working on your book. And I just love that because I think in the future, it's going to be more and more important that we are not only able to say, hey, look, I am anti-AI. I only my work is my own, right? My own creation, my own creativity. But how do you prove that? I think that's important. And what Ellipsis does, and right now I'm scrolling through all the things you get in Plus, all Ellipsis Plus allows us to have a tool that's constantly working in the back and in the background while we're working to prove that our work is our own and not AI. I'm going to see if I can find a description of it here on their website to share with you. It is an Ellipsis Plus feature. It is not automatic on the free plan. But let me read this to you. What is Emboss? Emboss is an optional authorship tool that lets you share work history metrics showing the process behind a document or draft, number of sessions, revisions, typing speed, pauses, version history snapshots, and other metrics recorded as the document is written. It is not an AI detector. It does not scan finished work and assume authorship. It does not produce a suspicion score. It does not evaluate writing quality. With Emboss, we want to move the conversation away from AI suspicion, accusations, and detectors, and toward process as a defense against these. I love that. So in other words, it uses different metrics, again, not AI, to track the process of your creative work. And down here it says, Emboss is fully opt-in, private by default, and controlled by the writer. So in other words, and I actually spoke to the creators on this via chat because I wanted more clarification on this. You don't have to opt, once you invest in the Ellipsis Plus, you don't have to opt into Emboss. It's automatically collecting those metrics, that data on your behalf as you work. But if you want to share it, you as the writer, you as the creator, you own your work, and you get to control who has access to that. You get to choose if you share those metric information or not. But I just love having the option to do that. If you publish on KDP, if you're an independent publisher like I or independent author like I am, they often ask I think they ask every single time now, at the very bottom, was AI used in any part to create this book? Well, I always say no because I am adamant about not using AI. But their push comes to shove, they might want proof in the future. And what Ellipsis Plus Emboss feature gives me is the immediate opportunity to give those metrics, to hand out that information. The metrics, the proof to stand behind, hey, look, this is how many hours this book took me to write. And personally, that's invaluable. If I want to put my money where my mouth is, then that's another reason that Ellipsis Plus is certainly valuable for me. I have tried Scrivener. I've kind of peeked around it. I've tried other writer softwares and apps. I'm not a fan. I felt like they were, you guys, it felt like I'd have to take a whole course in order to learn how to use them. And I wanted something that I could hit the ground running, and Ellipsis just hits that bill for me. Not sponsored in any way, shape, or form. I am just sharing a tool on Writer Wednesday that has really helped me and I think can only help me in the future. So if you want to check it out, I'm going to leave a link in the description below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. And if you have a moment, please give me a like. And if you're not already a subscriber, consider hitting that subscribe button. But jump off now. If you're a writer, go check this out. See what you think. Again, you can start a free version and you've got a ton of options at your fingertips. Until the next video, have a great rest of your week. Bye-bye.